and welcome to part 4 of our SEO mini-series. This is the fourth and final part of this series. We've had a lot of fun putting this together. So in our previous episodes, we've covered 2 out of 3 of the core concepts of human-friendly SEO in a bit more detail. So we've gone over market research and how this can benefit your users and your SEO score. And we've also covered making your website accessible to as many people as possible. Hopefully, through this mini series, you're beginning to see how SEO is really all about human beings and their experiences. It isn't really this techie, unmanageable thing when you do break it down, just kind of like all marketing, really. So the fourth and final part of this SEO mini series, we're going to be focusing on authority. Authority is something that you work on with your website after you've gone live. So research is obviously the initial phase, pre-launch. Accessibility is woven into the design and build portion of creating your website. And then authority comes once your website is live and in the world. Mm-hmm. Building your authority is all about making sure you're seen as reliable and trustworthy online.
So how can we improve our authority and increase the trust of our website to search engines and users? So sharing your knowledge through blog posts on your website, this is a really handy way. So this can be industry news or product updates and tips and tricks. So this gives Google and your users more information about your business and will hopefully help your users as well. This doesn't just have to be on your own website, but can be on other established business websites too. So think of things like guest blogging. It's a real fantastic way of improving authority and kind of increasing your visibility online. So another great way to share your knowledge is through podcasts. So either creating your own or appearing as a guest on other shows. This proves to the community that you are who you say you are, that you're active, that you're helping other people, as well as this is a massive one for generating backlinks again for kind of other authoritative websites. I actually recently shared a tip as well, how you can get a link back from Google, because on Google Podcasts, they link back to your website. So it's a fantastic way of, again, building that authority. Testimonials as well. So that could be from existing customers. It's a great way to build trust with new users, as well as answering questions in forums. Again, this will all link back to your website. So all of these activities build trust within your community, proving that you know your stuff and you are a reliable source of information for search engines and potential customers as well.
Yeah, I think it's so important that I know we always do, but we continue to highlight the need of appearing not just trustworthy to Google, to bots and algorithms, but also to the people that might buy your services or invest in you. You know, it's so key. Another great way that we can improve our website's authority is by creating a consistent brand across all of your digital touch points. That's quite a mouthful. Digital touch points. So what we mean by this is making sure that your name, your visuals, your tone of voice, and your mission are clear and consistent everywhere and anywhere that search engines can find you. So everywhere that you show up online needs to look and feel like the same person. So we mean consistent branding, a consistent tone of voice, and consistent offers across your website, your blog, your social media channels, all of that kind of thing. Otherwise, people find you via social media or ads or something like that will come to your website and they'll immediately bounce off of it because you're not serving what they thought that you were. You've given them a nasty surprise. No one likes that. This is terrible for your authority. The thing with visual branding that I think not a lot of people understand is that it actually acts as a language that we're able to decipher and read far more quickly than we are with words. We get a real great impression of a business's vibe and their values through their visuals. I mean, at least you should do if the branding is half decent. We need this language to be consistent in order for customers to find us reliable enough to spend time with, download resources from, or spend their money with.
Yeah, totally. I like to think that our brand personally is quite clear, and even though we are obviously 2 people and we're on different platforms, we try and keep our brand so clear so that people at a quick glance they can see those big eyes, the hearts, the stars, the pinks, the purples, and hopefully they go, oh, I know who this is,
Yeah, we're pretty we've got quite a strong visual style, haven't we? So.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think it's always really helpful. I know I did touch on it a little bit earlier, but just to like reiterate as well, because it's so important, is testimonials. I don't think I kind of expanded on it as much as I should have, because it's just such a fantastic way to improve authority and get trust in your business. Again, it's just super important giving your website the user confidence, in your ability. People can really trust you, especially when you get it from third parties. So this could be things like Google reviews and Trustpilot. And again, both of these will then be links back to your website. So these are also backlinks. So you're hitting kind of both targets here, with search engines loving it, but really importantly, people loving it as well. I mean, I know I all the time put in a business and then put reviews after it to see if I can find third party kind of with it. So I think it's so key.
Specifically about third party apps as opposed to things that we just publish on our own websites that are so desirable?
Yeah, it's because this website, like Trustpilot, Google reviews, they are built, their design, their layout and everything is built only for reviews. So it's really nice and clear. And also because it's third party, there's just got that trust a lot more as well. When you're just kind of, and I don't doubt that there are true testimonials out there, but it could have just been made up. That's what you feel like, isn't it? When you're reading, they've just kind of made up and said, oh, I'm bloody brilliant. Thank you very much.
These third-party apps validate them on your behalf, so you know that they've come from a legitimate source. And I know that apps like Trustpilot, you're not allowed to review a company unless they can verify that you've actively purchased from them. So that is really, really trustworthy and helpful.
Yes. Yeah. And even when it's negative testimonials as well, like negative reviews, I think as a company, you responding to that, taking that on board, seeing if you can help, I think that is sometimes even more valuable. We're all going to get those like kind of 3-star, 1-star. If you're then responding with something, oh, sorry about that, and trying to help them through it or kind of explaining it a bit more, that shows so much trust in that company and that brand. You can see a brand, like a small business brand, sometimes a mile off when you can see they're responding like, wow, you didn't do this, and you can see them arguing back, and you're like, wow, okay, well, this isn't quite who I'd want to work with.
Yeah, there's nothing worse. I think they're very entertaining. We had a local restaurant owner for a while who went viral because of some of the scathing replies he sent to reviews. And while they're funny to read, it doesn't really make you want to spend much time in that establishment. So
no, you're not going to go there for a nice chilled coffee because you're terrified about being shouted at, isn't it? Exactly. So so I think those third-party apps are good, and even with negative reviews, if you handle them well, they can be seen as good. Everyone can see, a Karen a mile off, so everyone else will read it as well. Sorry, Karen's out there. It's not nice, I know. But yeah, we've talked as well a little bit about collaborating online and how this can improve your authority and trust. But this does come with some caveats, obviously. So who you collaborate with online matters. So not every guest appearance will impact you positively. You want to be looking for businesses in the same industry with similar target audiences, just generally like the same kind of vibe. You don't want to be working with businesses that offer spammy or pushy sales tactics, like those huge kind of flashing win an iPhone banners that you used to see all the time, or those dodgy businesses that aren't who they claim to be, or the ones with like the big red timeout things and stuff like that. You don't want to be working with them because you don't want to be linked with them, especially if that's not your vibe, is it? So even if they're saying become affiliate, join us in the sales funnel, all these things, if it's too good to be true, it probably is, isn't it? That kind of logic.
Such a good rule of thumb for all things life, I think, but particularly for the kind of authority and brand reputation of your website. You can so easily ruin, a year of hard SEO work by a moment of weakness, signing your website up to some kind of spammy sales loop, or getting yourself involved with some kind of nasty
pay this kind of fee and we will then put your blog post on all these things. I don't want it. I don't want, when you spend so long working on your business, on your website, gaining your authority and your users, it can quite quickly go away when you start like kind of buying link backs and all those things.
Definitely. That is just a massive thing to avoid.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've discussed the big three of amazing human-friendly SEO through this mini-series now, which are market research and ensuring that your website is relevant and valuable to the right audience and not just your assumptions of this audience. So we're doing real research, okay? Second part is accessibility. This is all about creating a website that is as usable as possible for as many people as possible, being careful not to exclude or alienate those with differing needs. And finally, what we've just discussed in this episode is authority. This is all about creating a reliable and trustworthy space online that provides what it promises to provide and is linked to from other trustworthy and reliable sources, not just any old nutter on the internet.
Yeah, exactly. Unless we're the nutters.
Yeah. We'll be those nutters.
Yeah.
Just before we wrap up this final episode of the mini-series, I just want to highlight a key point that I think doesn't get talked about enough in the SEO space, and that is that, believe it or not, you and Google want exactly the same thing. Google wants to offer the most relevant, useful, and helpful suggestions of websites to their users, and we want to provide the maximum value to those users so that we can, lift ourselves up high on those search rankings. So we want the same thing. You're not fighting against Google, and it's important to remember that. Follow the guidelines, think about the people that you're serving, and Google will help you reach that top spot.
Yes, totally agree with that. So if you've enjoyed this mini series and want to dig a bit deeper on your website SEO, check out our SEO course SOAR. So it's an easy to follow, accessible, and it has lots of actionable modules that take just 30 minutes to complete. You can learn more on our website, which I'm sure we'll leave a link somewhere in our description as well.
We'll leave a link to that in the show notes if you're interested. We've had an absolute blast putting it together. We really wanted to create something especially for busy small business owners. So it's really key to us that the lessons are bite-sized, they're easy to follow, and they're actionable. So each module comes with a task, which we really love. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for listening to this mini-series. We've had so much fun recording it. We hope that you've found it useful, and we hope that it's helped to take away some of the stress and mystery around SEO, which, after all, it's just another bloody marketing tool, so it's nothing to be scared of.
Yeah, totally agree. But thanks so much. This has been fantastic. Thank you so much, Nay.
Thank you, and thank you to our lovely listeners, and we'll catch you soon when season 2 of the Lucky Biz podcast launches. Bye. Woo!